How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today we've got a bit more Masters content, as I did put up a little thing on the channel to kind of get some feedback from you guys, the ones that watch, to know what exactly you want on the channel, and because I am going into 3 different games, I am still keeping up with Masters. I do enjoy Masters, we'll keep playing until it dies, I have said that, and I will stick to that. I've also been enjoying Fusion Worlds a little bit less, because the client isn't as useful and as great as we all imagined it to be and would hoped it would be. So I haven't been kind of enthusiastic about doing anything with that. But I'm still enjoying Fusion World, the more local levels, because I do like the feel of card games, playing like the card games person. And likewise, that brings into Star Wars being another game that I've kind of tried out, enjoyed, and I'm really loving it. And we'll start up doing some content on that as well. And I saw the majority of people wanting Masters content as the main thing they enjoy and watch on there. So we're going to stick with Masters content. I'm going to try and push myself to try and find more things, because I have got a few, because I've kind of been slowly losing interest in it, but I am still interested in it, just locally and casually, as not as interested, but I will still keep up with the competitive season and competitive stuff. But for now, we've got more of a different kind of thing. We've got deck profile, and it's over the set 24 pre-release leader Whis. So we got Red Whis, and this one's quite interesting. I do enjoy it, and of course we are using Deck Planet being the best and only real deck builder for any Dragon Ball card game in any of the Dragon Ball card games. Best way to use it. Got a new drag and drop feature which I haven't tried out yet because I think it's only just dropped recently. And it's just really easy to use, nice interface, and handy when we do things like this, like being able to see the leader while doing the content review. It's very handy. So Whis is a leader, so we'll start off with the leader as we normally do before we get into the actual deck. And Whis is a new one that we get for the set 24 Beyond Generations, I think it's called, pre-release. And you get a leader at this, and you also get a Z-Unison as well. And it looks quite interesting, and I was looking at it thinking, this is quite cool. I do like Whis and Beerus. They are some of my more favorite characters from the Dragon Ball Super anime, and the Dragon Ball Super part of Dragon Ball. And Whis finally gets another and a more interesting leader, because I didn't like the blue one. It wasn't very interesting, and it wasn't that great. But it did get a new leader, and this time a pre-release one, and it does look quite cool. So let's go into it. So we got the front side of the lead being Whis, and then when he flips over, so he goes from a 10k to a 15k, which is like standard for most things in the game. And he goes from Whis to Whis Facilitator of Beerus, because he is Beerus' assistant and buddy, and he's like angel. So on the front side, he's got an auto once per turn. You can play one red Beerus. When you play a red Beerus, this card gets 5k power for the turn. So when you play any Beerus cards in Arsenal, like a rival ones, things like that, then you get a 5k boost, meaning it becomes 15k on the unawakened side, which is quite nice. And if you do flip over the same turn you do it, you then pass that boost over to the awakened side, being 20k base for that turn, which is quite nice. And you also got another auto, so that first one's once per turn, but the other one is an auto which is not once per turn, but then there's not many ways you can get multiple attacks out of it. And this is when it attacks, when this card attacks, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, so you've got some self-awakening built in there, which comes clutch to when it comes to the awaken. And then you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add it to 1 red god card to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So 1 red god is really good, because it could be mono red, it could be multicolor, gives that synergy and help to find things out. And also there's a good check land in the 6-drop Beerus, because the one thing that I'm finding is a problem with some of these decks that revolve around multicolors is that there needs to be, like we've seen with some of them, a way to have either more check lands. Like check lands are nice, but we need more check lands. Or if they don't have decent check lands, then what you need is something on the leader to ignore the energy exhaust. And this doesn't come with it, even though it's a multicolor deck. Even though it's a red leader, it's a multicolor focus deck, and more of those will be handy. But luckily, you've got some good ones in red yellow, which is the focus for this one. And beyond add some of your gods, you've got the Whis god, which is a check land all the way back from set 7, I think. No, not set 7. No, set 8. Set 8 was when the Whis one came in. You've also got the new 6-drop god one. That was if your leader is a red god, it ignores the energy exhaust, which is the 6-drop Beerus. And you've also got the Whis in the set as well, so you've got multiple different ones. I think we're playing most of them, if not all of them. So you've got a good amount of check lands to make sure you can multicolor energy down and make use of it. So the taking a life as well when it attacks is really important, because the awaken for this lead is when you're nice at 4 or less. You draw a card, untap 1 energy, flip over, because now it doesn't put that flip over in the text of the awaken, because it's all part of the mechanic. So your awaken is 4 or less life, untap 1, draw 1. which is really nice. It's nice to have that one because it's more like the mid-range one, because you've got the more defensive one being draw 2 and the more aggressive one being in tap 2, which we haven't seen in a while, but untap 1, draw 1 is very good. So now when you awaken, you now have 15k lead. You've got 2 autos, and they're both once per turn. The first one is the one that kind of drew me to trying out this, which put my interest in Whis, is once per turn, when you use one of your red, yellow, multicolored cards in a combo, play up to 1 red god card with energy cost of 2 or less from your hand in rest mode. Now, there's some really nice cards I feel you can play out this. There's some really good ones, even the Checkland, which is like the skill negation, but we'll see into that. But there's some other ones that I feel are really good to use and kind of make use of the fact that the leader doesn't draw on the Awaken side, like by swinging and anything like that, and kind of use this as a way to kind of generate advantage and also do some really annoying things as well. And then we got the other one being auto once per turn. When you play a red Beerus or Whis card, if the play card is a Beerus card, this card gets 5k power for the turn, making it a 20k base. And if the card is a Whis card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. And it's just either player's turn. So if you do it during your opponent's turn, you get this boost defensively. If you do it during your turn, you get it offensively, which is quite nice. And be able to either gain 5k or rest the card, or even do both if the card is both a Whis and a Beerus, is really nice and really handy as well. So that's the leader. So nothing amazing, like nothing absolutely busted, like we've seen with some of the decks previously. Like it just seems for the Zenkai series, a lot of like a fair few decks have been busted, but this one's quite nice. And we'll have a look and see what I've put together to see how you can kind of like benefit from this lead. So we'll start with the multicolors first, because we'll get those out of the way because they're the main thing, because it's a multicolor deck. So we first got our one of our Checklands being Beerus Chaturui. We got this as a 4-off because this is a really handy one where he's got a permanent where if your leader is a red god, so of course Whis being a god and being a red leader, red god matches that straight away. You can negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. So there we go. And it's just a handy turn 1 Checkland. You can put in a multicolor that doesn't come in rest mode, so you can make use of that first energy to play some things. It's also quite handy because it's 6 cost 25k with double strike and also flank, so it can come out with that protection, be it unaffected by counter plays, and provide some 25k double strike pressure, which is really nice. And it arrivals for 1 red and 1 yellow. It's 2 energy, but it's still worth it. And it's got a nice handy effect of when it's played, you draw a card, so you place it off in your hand, and then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, or use, I think. Well, when your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode, and then you can choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and give it minus 20k power for the turn. So you come down, draw, rest the battle card, and minus a unison or battle card by 20k, so it's destructing quite a bit. So that's quite decent for the card, and the main thing you want it for is a Checkland, but it can become handy as an arrival card. Next we have another Checkland being Whis Spectator. I've only put 3 of these in rather than 2 because I'm trying to kind of keep it down to 50 cards because we've got consistency, and with the new mulligan we've got to kind of be careful now because you want that Checkland, but you also want to turn 1 play and things like that you want to have it useful. And Whis is another good one where it's another Checkland in the fact that if you have a red yellow multicolored card in your energy, you could ignore the when you charge this card, you ignore this energy exhaust in all areas. So once you've already got the Checkland, hopefully by the Beerus turn 1, when you start charging the Whis, they become Checklands where they come in by ignoring the energy exhaust when you charge them. And Whis doesn't have many skills, but it's a 2 cost, so it can be played off the leader's Awaken side effect when you combo with a red yellow multi-card. And the benefit of that is the auto, which is when you play this card, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills for the duration of the turn. Meaning you get like a kind of Final Flash in a sense for free for playing this, and comes out as a 15k attacker as well, which is quite nice. Now we only got 3 of those because once again, don't want to clog your hand, and it's just a nice Checkland, but the Beerus is a little bit better, but the Whis can be quite useful to play off, and it's got other abilities and quite helpful. And then we've got our super combo being Beerus Motivation Destruction. So this is our super combo, and we went with this one because this one just works really well because you're only really playing, we are playing some non-red cards, so you can hit something that's not useful, but you still get a draw. It's a multicolored card, one of the only multicolor super combos that draws a card, and it's really handy in just triggering your leads effect, and also having a way to potentially get a bigger benefit than as a super combo if you hit one of the multicolors. Because this card is, if your leader is red or yellow, when this card is using the combo from your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck and add to your hand. And then if the real world card is red, this card gets extra 5k combo because it's just originally and normally a 5k combo. But if you reveal a red card, it gains an extra 5k combo power. And if you reveal a yellow card, you choose up one of your opponent's rest mode cards and give it minus 5k power for the battle. So if you hit a red card, you become a 10k combo. If you hit a yellow card, you minus something that hopefully you're attacking into or is attacking you that doesn't have barrier and get minus it by 10k. Sorry, 5k. Meaning that you still get a 10k difference. But if you hit a card that's both red and yellow, so a multicolored card, you get you get both effects. You get both the 5k power to boost the power on the combo, and you also get minus 5k power to the to a card. That's in rest mode at least. So you got 4 of those because you're gonna have 4 super combos because you only have 4. And then we've got some of the other cards we can play off the Wii. So I was looking at some of the cards that you can play off Wii's off this effect every time you combo a multicolored card, and there's some really nice ones. The first one we've got is I'm gonna probably butcher his name, Quitella and Conic, Universe 4 Destroy an Angel. This is really handy because it's a 2 cost. So remember, the Whis can play a 2 cost God from your a God card which costs a 2 or less from your hand for free if you combo a multicolored card. And Quitella and Conic here is a 2 cost red yellow multicolored God. And the main reason we're playing this is because a 20k base for 2 energy is pretty good. So 20k can swing quite well and be really nice to defend itself. And also it's got offering, so being able to like combo with a multicolored card like a red yellow card and then free play out this Quitella, put a 20k beat stick on your board in rest, and then make your opponent choose either to crit a life or let you draw 2 is really handy. Because if they start awakening or like glowing life, they're not going to start taking. They're not going to start losing life because it's critting a life, not them hand to hand. It goes straight to the drop. And if they decide not to do that because they don't want to take life, you draw a brand new 2 cards, meaning you get some further through your deck to find more things and do more things as well. And the nice thing about this is the ability can be used on both yours and your opponent's turn. So every turn, during either player's turn, you can start dropping offering cards depending how many you draw. So we've got 4 copies of this because it's handy, and also it could be a combo as well. And we got ways, and even though we're going to have a fair few multicolored cards in the deck, we've got some ways to kind of mitigate the fact that we're going to might clog with some of these multicolors. But then we got another copy, we got another thing that's just like Quitella. So this is the whole focus of this deck is to combo the multicolor and then free play out some of these 2 drops to have offering. And we got Conic, another one. So there's another 2 cost God, a little bit less power, being 16k instead of 20k, but also has offering. So you can play this out. You don't worry about his combo cost there. Like you're not going to worry about having 2 costs of 10k because you could be comboing it from a different way that we'll see in a bit. But it's mainly that this is another one that when you combo a multicolored card, you can use Whis to free play this out in the rest mode. 16k is better than 15, means you have to combo out to like damage it. So 16k is better defensively, meaning you have to combo up to try and like get rid of it as a 15k. Whereas offensively, you can just swing and leave it at 16. It's fine. It's the same as 15 anyway. But it's that's offering, so it gives a chance to your opponent to either think about if you want to crit life or let you draw 2. So we've got 4 copies of that. And then we got the Never Check Land. So this functions as both a check land and a Never target for Whis to play out for free. Because it's a 5-drop Whis, power beyond a God of Destruction. It's got offering as well, so just like these 2, it's got offerings that can be played out, and it can be played out from your lead as well. Because it's got 2 permanents. The first one is the check land one, where if your leader is a red Whis, I think it's just a red Whis card. You need to get this card's energy source in all areas, meaning it's a check land, so you've got a good 11 check lands in this deck to kind of mitigate, and both this Whis and the Beerus are both ones you can use turn 1 without issue, so you can do a turn 1 play. And the other permanent is if your leader is a Whis card and you have 1 or more red cards or 1 or more yellow cards in your energy, so as soon as you put check land down, it's just live, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, making it a 2 cost, because it's got 2 specified costs. So it's another card that you can basically, just like Quitella here, it'll be a 20k you can jump for free because it'll be a 2 cost by them. The chocolate tube opponent's board after you combo with a red yellow card, and then trigger offering, make your opponent either crit life or give you 2 cards. So you're going to be going through this quite well, and if you can keep the offering up going over and over again, and if they like basically choose not to crit life, you can just spam at the board and also start like drawing a decent hand. So we've got 4 copies of those because we want that's like a good 12 targets to just over again play out from your lead, and considering you can draw quite fast and quite consistently for your deck in Masters, it shouldn't be a problem trying to find these, and the only thing you've got to worry about is the mulligan about how you're going to work through this. But we're trying to make it as consistent as possible, because now we've got some other multicolored cards, so we've got some other ones to help kind of, because at the moment, we've currently only got the super combo here that you can really combo for free without needing to pay energy for, so to kind of trigger these things. So we've also got Beerus Divine Destroyer's Advent. So this functions as another way to kind of trigger the combo for the free play out these God cards for the offering, and also kind of some rival shenanigans and things as well. Because this Beerus is a 4 cost 15k, it's got a 1 cost 5k combo, but it's got permanent where if you have a red yellow multicolored card in your energy, You can reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1, meaning that it's a free combo, 5k. It's just like the super combo. It also has offering as well, so it adds more offering support. This is like offering the deck, which is really nice. You've got a good, what is that? That is a good 16 cards of offering to make use of, like, make your opponent have a crit life or give you a decent hand, so keep the hand size healthy. And you can rival it in for either 1 red or 1 yellow, so you've got the options there. And it also has a nice little effect where when it attacks, you can use it to one of your opponent's battle cards, which goes a 4 or less in rest mode, and then that card can't switch to active mode until the end of your of their next turn. So it means you can lock something down as well when you attack with it, and also rival this out for. You can rival this out defensively, so twice on your opponent's turn, you can drop offering. So you can use offering, combo with a multicolored card, usually as effect to player like, say, Quitella and Conic to come out and then trigger offering to make them have a crit life draw 2, and then pay 1 to rival out the Beerus and then do another offering, make them have a crit life draw 2, and you can just plus an extra playing things on their board, but also making them either lose life, which you don't want to do, or give you more cards, which you kind of are fine with. Then we've also got Beerus and Decent Ratius. We've got Never Arrival and also Never Multicolored card, and quite a decent one. It could be a finisher as well. This is an Error 4 drop. This one's 20k, and it does have one cost 10k combo, so it's not one you can really just combo for free. That's out with outside help. Set with outside help. But it's another way to kind of like get shenanigans and play things at your opponent's turn and make use of that fact that you're comboing a multicolored card to get some good stuff. And this one's got a good thing where when it's played, it draws a card, so it replaces itself in the hand, so make sure you're not losing too much hand, considering that your leader doesn't really draw. And then you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and give it a minus them by 10k each. So you can kind of like make being attacked into a little bit easier as long as the card isn't a leader at least, and doesn't have barrier. And you've got a way to kind of finish off with triple strike, because the rival is just red-yellow for 1 red energy. But it's got an activate main where if you pay 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 of any color, so 3 energy with at least 1 being red, 1 being yellow. You get to choose all your opponent's battle cards, and that's in rest mode, and minus them by 20k power for the turn, so that's a pretty good net. You can get rid of a lot of weenie things or a lot of low rent stuff. And then this card gains an extra 5k power and triple strike for the turn, so you can use it as a triple strike finisher. And considering that a red leader with red-yellow has pretty good counter, it's a good, you can potentially force us through and go for a good kill swing this. So we've got 4 copies of this because it's a nice little rival card to help try to filter for your deck and get some board established. And then we've gone to, so that's all the multicolored cards, and then we go on to some of the other ones. We've got Whis Process Support. So these are some new cards from the new set that's meant to be supporting both this Whis and the old Beerus as well. Well, the new Beerus, the new red Beerus, but we've also got 2 of them. So you've got Whis Precise Support and Oracle Fish, where Godly Power lies. Now, these are basically the Searcher and Cantrip that every set gets, because normally anytime a deck comes out, or archetype comes out, there's normally a Cantrip and a Searcher for the archetype, so that way you can get some consistency going. And considering that you can potentially get a check land down turn 1 like either the Beerus or the Whis as what you could have card turn 1 on board. It makes you have 1 energy for a useful thing, and Whis Precise Support and Oracle Fish, where Godly Power lies, are just helpful cards to help get consistency going. So Whis is the Searcher, where it looks at top 5 cards of your deck and add 1 red god, which costs a 5 or less from your deck to your hand. So that can find everything there apart from the Beerus Judge of Ruin, your check land, but hopefully you've had that turn 1 they've kind of put down, and also charged so you can have basically play Whis, and then this Whis can then look for any one of these things that find you super combo, find you one of these offering cards to play out, or find you another check land or a rival piece. And then Godly Fish, Oracle Fish is basically just a cantrip, draw 1, basically just pay 1, draw 1, and then have it there. But these both have really handy effects in the drop as well, because they say with the activate main limit 1, so you can only activate 1 copy of each card effect of each card across all copies of the card. So you can use 1 Whis and 1 Oracle Fish every turn. And the effect is an activate battle, limit 1. If your leader is a red Beerus or Whis card, and you send this card from your drop to the warp, so you got to be in your drop area, but that's easy enough to do with like using a Z energy, put in your drop, or just basically combo off, put in a drop. You can use up to 1 red yellow multicolored card from your hand in a combo with its skills to get it for the turn, and reduce the combo cost of the card, reduce the combo power of the card by minus 5k power for the turn. So essentially, the ones that have 1 cost 5k combo, or only 5k combo, you're going to be using them for free anyway. So you're not going to use those the combo from these cards. So like the Super Combo and the Divine Advent, you can play them for free anyway, as long as you got the, well, as long as you're a red leader there. And then the Beerus, as long as you are a, what's it called? What is it called? But yeah, as long as you got a multicolored card in your energy, you can combo this for free. But these other ones that are 1-cost 10k combos that might be dead in your hand, you can use these ones to help combo them. They might be 5k less, your only combo them is 5k rather than 10k, but you're still for free comboing a multicolored card, which then will trigger the lead sweat effect to be able to play out one of these offering cards for free, and then have your Arrival Shenanigans live. So these are really handy, and we have more of the Whis and the Oracle Fish, because drawing a card is good, but sometimes you want to find specific cards. So Whis be able to find one of these specific cards you're trying to look for, like an offering target if you don't already have one, is a lot more handy than getting the cantrip. So we've got 4 of the one and 3 of the other, 4 of the searcher, 3 of the cantrip. So that way you can kind of get that better consistency going and still have enough targets. So when they're in a drop, they can help you out there. And eventually, as well as that, they're good ones to put in your Z energy, so you can bring out some Z card stuff and then have them in your drop ready. So you can have them safe and ready for when you want to use them. Then we have 3 copies of Sun Gohan defeating the demon, because you can get Z energy quite easily where you're just comboing, getting these shenanigans going. You're comboing almost every turn, so you can trigger your leads effect, and also you can do a rival, things like that. So having like Z energy is enough, especially since you want to get a Z energy up, Z extra up, so that you can have your like your name, Explosive Dance live is basically just a staple red now. So this is really handy to have, just to help reduce the power of things, just kind of help deal with things. And we've also got 3 copies of Videl Encountering Danger, because this set comes out exactly the same time as we get Z-Unisons. So there are some Z-Unisons, and there are some free cost or higher Z-Unisons to make use of Videl. So now we don't have to worry about having a Unison in the main deck to kind of find and play out. We can have them in the Z deck, so we can have Videl. Videl can be live as soon as you get the 3 or more energy, drop it out. So we've got 3 copies of this, because you're not always going to have a Z-Unison, it might be dealt with, so we only got 3, because it's still a useful amount to find it and use it. The same with Gohan, you might not need it all the time, but it gives you enough to see, not multiple cards that might clog your hand because you want to see other things, but enough to find at least 1 copy of these. Then we've also got the thing to help with Z-Unisons, which I really like. I've included this since like since this kind of dropped, really. We're having fun with it, which is SS Son Goku Pan and SS Trunks Galactic Explorers. This is a really handy one to keep your Z-Unisons live with markers, because it's got an effect to basically just put himself from your activate main, which is limit 1, where you can choose one of your Unisons with 10k power or more and place this card under it from your hand or battle area, and add a marker to the card. So you can just basically use this, put a card underneath one of your Unisons to give it a marker, as long as it's 10k more, and luckily we're going to have ones that are 10k more that you can really use. And you got a way to play it out from underneath it. So for free energy, when you have 4 more energy, you can play it out from underneath it. So you can then play it out, swing with it, and put it back under again to kind of keep your Unisons live if you've got nothing else to do. So you'll be playing things for free, thanks to Leader's Fact playing the offering cards. And then, as well as that, you have a third ability, which is once per turn. Also requires you to take 3 markers off a Unison, which can be quite hefty, but it can be fair enough if it wins you the game. It allows you to choose all your opponent's battle cards and give us minus 30k power for the turn, and then give this card triple strike for the turn, or triple attack for the turn, so you can get 3 attacks out of it. At 30k, it's also got the flex, so it's not going to be counter played or anything like that. And that can be very handy, just dealing your opponent's board minus about 30k and giving you 3 attacks out of this is really, really cool. And then you can just put it back on a Unison afterwards to make sure, even though you took 2 markers off the 3 markers off the Unison, if it's got a plus effect, you can just gain that back, and also gain 1 back, and then you put back underneath after you swing with it 3 times. And if your opponent isn't dead by them, just give it an extra mark, so you only took 1 mark off your Unison for that. So you got 1 copy of this. You could up it to 2, but I'm trying to find space for things, so I will try to get this tested and try out a little bit before. But this is currently initial list of my ideas. And lastly, we've got, for the battle cards, we've got a copy of the new SSB Kaioken Vegito Ultimate Champion. I can't remember. Basically it's the black Vegeta secret rare. Now I've gone for. You might be thinking, why have I gone for this rather than some of the other secret rares you can have? Because you got to think about it. Remember, this is a red leader. So for red secret rares, for secret rares, you're limited to kind of really red and black, because black's got more generic secret rares and red has some. But most of the good red secret rares are require a Saiyan lead. If you want to play out Vegito, the red Vegito Overwhelm secret rare, you've got to be a red Saiyan, which obviously Whis is not. You got some other good secret rares, but you want to kind of not really use too much energy to play things out. Like you can use some like the Vegeta secret rare is a pretty good one to have, but that's 4 energy to kind of just like wipe your opponent's board and deal damage, which that can help with offering. If you get them low enough, you can just finish that with offering. But then it costs 4 energy, and sometimes you might not have the energy for it, where you need to do other things. Whereas, and then you got other ones like you got the Kai, you got the Pan, and like while those are good ones, I felt this one could benefit from the Vegito, because if you do go against someone, you keep spamming out these offerings, your opponent decides they're not going to take a life, they don't want to crit a life, they're just going to give you 2 cards. What can you do with 2 extra cards? If you keep doing this over and over again, just plussing 2 cards every turn, keeping quite a big hand while your opponent has to deal with your board and stay away from your lead, then you can accumulate quite a large hand. Because then you can get Z-Unisons out of this for free. Well, no, not for free, but you can get Z-Unisons out of your deck and just give it a load of markers just to like, you got the Whis one as well, and you got the Grand Priest one, just bring it out and give a fair few markers on it. You can bring this out for free because this is a deflect with triple strike, so it's 8 costs, but it comes with triple strike and deflect, but it comes down for less because it's permanent. Allows you to, if you have 4 more energy, and you can reduce the cost of this card by 3 for each marker you have on a Z-Unison. So if you have 3 markers on a Z-Unison, this is free to play because it's got no specified cost. It's reduced by 9, so it's then reduced to technically -1, so you don't get back an energy, but it's then free to play. And it's got an activate main where by bursting 3, so you got burst the top 3 cards of your deck, which can be quite difficult when you're like drawing for your deck a lot, but then you need to also warp 3 cards from your hand to basically restand it. So being able to, like, if you accumulate quite a large hand and still have a fair bit of deck, you can drop this for free, swing of it, 40k triple strike, then use his effect, mill 3, warp 3 from your hand, restand it, swing again, and you can keep swinging over and over again. And one really nice thing that goes with this is a copy of Almighty Resistance, because this is a really nice counter, one of the few left in the game that we've got that's kind of cheap enough that, like, really, because after Cooler got banned, the only like more generic ones are Baby and the Goku Black and Blue. That's the 5 energy ones and just in blue. Whereas red leads that do the red, yellow, multicolor stuff have access to this because this is a 2-cost counter. It requires 1 red and 1 yellow energy. You'll need to have a red leader and discard 1 yellow card from your hand, which a multicolored card will count for that. And then you basically just stop the counter your opponent was using. So if your opponent's got a energy ready for a floodgate, you drop this Vegito and swing. You can Almighty Resistance because you're playing out this Vegito for free. So you've probably got energy if you've already got a Z-Unison out from beforehand. Then you've got energy out for this Almighty Resistance. You can just basically stop their floodgate that they've left up. They now have to still deal with this because you've countered their floodgate, so they haven't negated attack, and you've hopefully dealt with any blockers they have. They've now got to deal with this 40k triple swing, and hopefully got ways to kind of stop everyone's. And depending on your resources, you can keep getting more and more and more. And if you've built up a large hand from offering, then you'll have plenty of cards to just keep spamming out from this. And if they have taken some offerings, then they're lower on life, or if they've gone lower themselves, then they're going to be at a bad time where you can just keep spamming with it. So that's the idea with it. Be more aggressive with this, like building up and just grinding. And then the other thing we've got is 3 copies of Explosive Dance to kind of grind out and kind of like floodgate and kind of defend so you can get to that point. Because Explosive Dance is just a fantastic one. Doesn't have really any downside other than needing to be 4 less life, which you have to get to anyway with your lead, and then having a Z extra, which we can easily get. So as the main deck, we've got 50 cards here. If you have any suggestions about what to, like, any ratios to change or any suggestions for the deck, then do let me know. But the focus is to just awaken as quick as possible and then combo with your multicolored cards, so you can free play out every turn during your and your opponent's turn one of these cards with offering, so you can make them either a crit life, which is still good for you. A crit life, they're not gaining that, and they're 1 life less to win. Or they're giving you 2 cards, which you see more things to do more stuff and help you find your secret rare. Now for the Z deck, it's been upgraded now, so we've got 10 Z cards, so we've upped it a bit. So we've got 3 more extra cards we can use. It means we can run more things and more kind of techs. So of course we've got 3 of the Z-Unison that come with this lead. So when you play in this pre-release, you get both one of this leader and one of this Unison. And it's a really handy one because it's a 3 specified cost, 2 Z energy Z-Unison, so you need to never worry about it. And it makes Videl live as soon as you get the turn 3, since normally you want to kind of awaken on turn 3 once you've got this out, get to 2 Z energy, get this out so you can then use your awaken, get energy back, and floodgate and things like that, and protect yourself. And this has got a really handy one, and the effect where it's got 2 marker effects. The first one's a +1 activate main, so how you can be gaining markers on it. and that is place one of your red, yellow, multicolored gods cards from your under this card, and then switch this card in active mode, and this card gains double strike for the turn. So some double strike pressure, so you can put some good pressure on your opponent, and also putting a card underneath it to kind of have things on it for its second marker effect. And now remember, because it doesn't specify where it comes from, it puts the multicolored card from your. It's got to be from your battle area underneath it. So which is not too bad, because after you're putting out like say one of the cards we're offering, you're gonna make sure you swing with it first, then swing with this, then use this effect to put that card that you swung with that's no longer useful under your board because it's only 20k and no ever skills aside of offering, and offering is already used under this card, so you can then restand it, gain double strike, and swing again, which is really really cool. Getting two swings with one being normal single strike and one being double strike, it's really handy, especially at 20k power. And now you've got the ever marker escape effect, which you can use defensively, being an auto minus plus 0. Well, it's minus plus minus 0. And its also is when your opponent attacks, use it to one red god card from under this card in a combo with its skills negated for the turn, and it switches the attack type to your leader. So that's really handy. It means you can just see, basically, with the card you put under, meaning those offering cards, they're normally one cost 10k. So you're instantly just going, I'm going to combo with this from under my lead and switch to under this card, and then you're going to switch the attack to my lead. So you're taking the attack away from your Unison or away from the battle card, something else. Combo with a 10k, which then will trigger your leads effect to be able to spam out another offering card to kind of get two more cards or crit them alive. And also have your arrival if you want some rival shenanigans as well. So I feel that's really good. Basically just applying lots of pressure and some really nice defense as well as being quite a big Unison that you can kind of keep going as well. So we've got 3 copies of this because you want to kind of make sure you keep this on board, establish it, and it's not the easiest to get rid of at 20k with gaining at least 3 markers and potentially never 1 or 2, depending if you've got the Galactic Explorers, and also having access to things like Gohan and Videl with it to kind of defend it, and at least making 1 attacker to your lead instead, with also 10k combo with it. Then we've got a copy of SSG Son Goku Crimson Guardian Deity, so never a Z-Unison we can play, and this one's a little bit more expensive, being a 4-cost Z-Unison, but it comes with some handy perks. So it's got 2 costs, whereas 2 Z energy as well, and it's also got double strength, but it's also got barriers, it's got that protection from any like cards that like, want to choose it to kind of neg it or might take markers off it. And it's also got a nice auto, which you won't trigger much of because we don't play the 4 archetype, which allows you to, when a player attacks, you can use any battle card from under this card in a combo with skills negated for the turn, and negate a skill for the turn. So you can combo a free card, but the only really way you can do that is by Galactic Explorers because Z-Unisons can't put another copy of himself underneath, so there's no really way to do it outside his archetype. But it's also a 20k double strength base with barrier, and it's also some good effects, but they're only minus effects. You won't be getting any pluses on this unless you use Galactic Explorers to kind of like come out in and out of it to gain markers. First one is a -1, which allows you to switch the card in active mode. So once again, yeah, never 2 swings, but unlike Grand Priest, both swings are 20k, and both swings are already 20k, but both swings are double strike. And then you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with ignoring barrier and minus about 25k for the power for the turn. So this is like your built-in Kaioken that can just stay there and kind of do this over and over again. So a very handy one. And makes it so you don't have to worry about drawing into Kaioken. You have it accessible in your Z deck as a Z-Unison. And then you got the -2, which is activate main, where it allows you to choose all your opponent's battle cards and Unisons and minus them all by 25k power for the turn. And then you get to choose up to one of your cards, and it gets plus 5k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that means you can give your leader an extra 5k boost, it's 20k defensively, and make it easier to defend. And also minus your opponent's entire board, including the Unison, by 25k, which can clear. Just doesn't hit things for Unison, but you got the first -1 to kind of hit things for Unison if you prefer it. Well, not Unisons, but barrier if you have that issue. So those Z-Unisons are pretty good ones for red. That's one thing I like about the Z-Unisons, that red gets some pretty good ones. And then we've got a copy of Oolong, because we're playing yellow. We can have this. We could play this. We can play this out for just 1. Copy our secret rare if they're under 1 life and we can't swing with our secret anymore without fear of either just not having enough cards in hand or milling ourselves out, and have Oolong to kind of copy its power and swing for a big thing. That's one thing I like about Red Yellow, is it has access to both the good red cards and good yellow cards from the Z deck. We have a copy of Rush Attack as well, because you can actually get a lot of comboing and a lot of Z energy open to kind of make this useful. It's still a really good one. Defender of Life as well, so more ways to kind of reduce their life this way as to the hand, but with the crit, instead of taking their own life down, you can use this, and then once you're at 3 or less life, they're not really going to want to crit life from offering, so this can even put more pressure on, while also allowing you to make it so you're getting more draws from the offering. SS3 Vegeta, Terrified Instruction, you can play this because you need 2 specified energy, yellow energy, which as long as you've got 2 white colors down, it's fine. And this is another way to kind of like get some removal for barrier that isn't revolving around minusing power, because the thing with red is if it wants to minus things through or get rid of things through barrier, it's minusing the power, whereas Vegeta here is just straight up KO. And if you happen to hit something that is in rest mode that you pop, that's through barrier, for your barrier removal, you gain critical on this card, and it's a 20k dual attack, which is very good stats to have, and only requires 2 Z energy and 3 energy, which is not too bad, especially when you're using it as removal for anything through barrier. And then we have SSB Goku, Son Goku, Evolved Defender. This is really handy to make use of, once again, this one requires 3 yellow energy, but since you're charging multicolors, you're going to have that yellow energy anyway from the multicolors. And it's a handy way just basically give yourself a barrier blocker or barrier deflect card. That's 25k power for just a good swing. Shut down your opponent from being able to attack in the next turn with a lead or onto a battle card or something like that. And then have that stun effect by being able to sack off an energy while it's in rest mode to whilst the energy while it's in rest mode to basically just bring something out in rest or rest the card as it comes in. It's a really handy card. And then we got this one copy of the Z-Unison because you need one out because when you come and bring it out, you have the one there, and it's not really there's not really many ways to kind of deal with Z-Unisons. Oh, sorry, Z extras. Sorry. And you just need one out so that way your explosive dance is live. And this was a really good one for if you want to just sack off when you're going for a game to kind of give a big 15k boost. It's really nice. And unlike the other ones, it gives a 15k boost and not a 10k boost, which is really probably preferred with a red deck as well. Just being able to sack off 1 Z energy for free to just give a 15k boost to your finisher is really handy. And just having this red Z extra on the board so you can have explosive dance live is handy. So if you feel there's any changes to make to this, I feel this is like a good option to have many different things. I feel that's the best thing about the Z deck is having options to certain situations. Like you could drop one of the Great Priests down for more for something else, like more copies of something else, or even another card in there. But I feel this is for me a good use of it. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave it in a comment below and let me know what you think about Whis. Like Whis, it just looked really interesting from that like spamming offering and having multiple like 16 cards in your deck that can offering. Just keep your hand up, while you don't really draw much off your lead, and also or even have the option for your opponent to hurt themselves alive is really handy, and can just be quite fun to play. Like it's a fun way to play, interesting deck. I don't know if it's going to be top tier, but it is a fun deck and more really enjoyable deck that I'm looking to try out. So that's it from me. Sorry it's been a long one, but I'll catch you in the next one and look forward to small deck profiles from me. But that's it. Thank you and catch you in the next one. Bye for now.